All right, kids, just wanted to touch base. We're in the last 3-4 days of Mang Zhong here, and everything is happening at the same time as we predicted. Again, Mang Zhong, the translation is grain in ear. From the Taoist perspective, it was a time when you would both be planting seeds and harvesting crop all at the same time. In traditional agricultural cultures, this was one of the busiest, most important times of the year. It didn't have to do with hammering through things or burning yourself out. It had to do with timing. And in some ways, I would say having that finesse to be able to pull multiple things off at the same time, wrapping things up and starting new projects. Obviously, timing mattered back then just as much as it matters right now. Back then, if you were a farmer, you had this narrow window where you could harvest your crop, but you were planting seeds at the same time. You didn't have time to hesitate, right? A hesitation means a missed opportunity. In some ways, some of the most dangerous drivers are the ones who hesitate when they're on the road. Rushing also could create unnecessary problems. I see that all the time with people, and I think it's a good time for us to all check our MO. How have we been operating over the years, especially if we haven't been aware that this is the season where this is happening, right? If you feel like, my God, this is not working, this is really intense, I can't live my life like this, then you might just give up. You might hesitate, you might pause, you might not even plant those seeds, especially when the opportunity arises. But if you know that now is the time and you don't have to keep functioning this way the rest of the year, it might give you some grace, it might give you some solace, knowing that there is some light at the end of this Mang Zhong tunnel. Last night, I did a reading about what was unfolding in my own life, and it wasn't a message about doing more. It's really about refining my MO, how I operate, how I go out into the world, how I multitask, right? And also about being discerning. We can't plant all the seeds all the time. I see some people trying to do that, trying to do it all at once. I think what they don't realize is that the more seeds you plant, the more you're going to have to harvest. And harvesting takes work as well. I'm recognizing these patterns in myself as well. We need to look at what deserves our energy, right? Who in your life nourishes you? Nature doesn't try to grow everything at once. There is a time and a place that is ideal to grow different crops. There's a time and a place where it's ideal to harvest what you might have planted in the past. A farmer doesn't plant every seed available all at once. For these farmer types, people who are learning to farm or have completely disconnected from the energetics of the world and the seasons, we are not separate from the seasons. We are a tiny little leaf blowing in turbulent winds. We move with the wind. We might actually get to where we need to go. And so I personally am committed to going with the natural flow of things, not about society, right? We're taught to think certain ways and behave in certain ways that fit nicely into these neat little boxes so everyone else can feel comfortable because they're playing the same game. Don't play the same game. You are not bigger than the seasons. If you have too many options, if you're trying to do it all at once, you're going to burn yourself out, either now or later. I'm looking at a lot of projects that I've started in the past, and I definitely wasn't thinking about these things. I wasn't thinking about the long game. And that's a part of my path. I'm glad I'm learning those lessons. And I hope I can share them with you so you don't have to waste the same amount of time I did figuring this stuff out. If you have too many responsibilities, it can start to feel like a burden. And that burden is not going to serve us. It's going to weigh us down. As we start to wrap up this Mang Zhong season, remember that too many options will create confusion. Too many commitments can scatter our energy. I am guilty of doing that. I end up being all over the place, and I have this time and energy blindness. And so I'm becoming aware of that. Once you realize you have that, you can start to organize and plan appropriately. Too many responsibilities can leave us feeling burdened, can leave us feeling heavy. It doesn't serve us. Focus on what really matters. Focus on the people that do matter, and focus on the that do matter to you. And that's going to look different for everybody else. As we head out of the Mang Zhong season, pay attention to what you're carrying into the next season, right? Look at what you're carrying that is no longer yours to carry. And also look at your MO. What habits could you outgrow in this next season of your life? What habits can we let go of? And what truly deserves our attention right now? What matters the most to you? And clarity is not found through endless analysis. Clarity often emerges when we become quiet enough to listen. Slow down a little bit. I know things are crazy. Take a moment and look at your MO. Look back at your trajectory. Look at what's been working, what hasn't been working, and listen to how you're feeling, right? It's one thing to be able to look, but it's another thing to actually listen. I had this list of things to get done, and I've been knocking certain things off the list, but they're not happening as fast as I would like, obviously. And I'm just learning to let go of that need to have everything happen now. There's a deeper intelligence at work here. And so let's slow down, pay attention, move at a nice, even, steady pace, right? Not just with the mind, but through the body, through our actions, through our behavior, through how we carry ourselves. So clarity emerges when we become quiet enough to listen, right? I am guilty of running around trying to get everything done everywhere all the time. Sometimes it feels like I don't even pay attention to how far I have to travel or give myself the time to be human, right? When we stop looking outside ourselves for constant validation, that could be from people, that could be from things, right? That could be from how much money you have in the bank account, how many friends you have. There's a deeper intelligence that just naturally emerges. It's been there the whole time. It's just being overcrowded with noise and nonsense. Just slow down, let the water settle, and move from that space, right? Not just with our minds, but through the body. It's one thing to meditate and clear your mind. It's another thing to move through life with a clear mind, right? When we are internally still and not overwhelmed or stressed out, we're able to access our intuition through direct observation. And so that's what I'm being shown right now. I hope you can relate. If you do relate, let me know. Slow down and take the right opportunities, right? Don't rush through everything and try and do everything all the time. Not every opportunity needs to be taken. Make sure the opportunities you are taking are in alignment with you and who you are. And this season asks for us to release what has already been completed. There's certain things that are so done already, and you know they're done. Move on. You have nothing to prove to anybody, and you definitely don't have anything to prove to yourself. Nature doesn't cling to last year's harvest. Let's harvest our stuff, get what we can, and move on. It doesn't spend its energy wishing for a different spring.